Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, good evening to everyone. I am Federico. Can you hear me? Because I have, okay. And I'm here with Aiele, Giovanni, and Umberto, and we are all part of Horizon. This evening, I'm going to try in just 5 minutes to tell you a story on how, about how this startup grew up and what can happen if flying passionate people come together with climate change really aware and other people, and all together with kind of enthusiasm, they build up an idea. So, talking about what glue us together was the main problem that we found, and we were talking about fires, wildfire, and we're talking about forest fire. So we checked this fact that is evident right now in all the world, that is going to happen this huge transformation due to the climate change that is effectively change our biodiversity, and the emergency. And the emergency is now spreading all over the Europe, but in general, I will say all over the world. For example, following the indication of FAO, in the period between 1920 and 2020, we lost 178 million of hectares of ground that was basically burned up. So we are talking about the equivalent of Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and Portugal. This, of course, was identified as a problem long times ago, and country already started to find a way to solve it. So we apply for new vehicles, talking about helicopters, Canadair, and other kind of vehicles that should be able to solve, in a way, the problem of fires in our forests, in our biodiversity regions, in our greeneries. But the problem is that right now, today, for our vehicles, it takes 1 hour and a half to reach this area. And according to the Western Fire Chief Association, in order to prevent the spreading of the fire, we should be able to reach this area in 10 minutes. But of course, there are some limitations. Limitation of people. I mean, we cannot have enough workers to keep look to all this area all together. Limitation of vehicles. If the fire is going to start in mountains or other regions, it's very complicated for helicopters or Canadair to go directly there to solve the problem. And the last but not least important problem is the elevated cost of moving a Canadair. I'm talking about 1,500 euro per hour for a Canadair. So it's not really 1,000 euros, sorry. So it's not really easy to implement vehicles in order to move to solve the problem of fire. So let's to come up to our ideas. We think that we could combine 3 technologies that already exist to build up a new solution for fight in forests. I'm talking about drones. I'm talking about IoT and GPS technologies and ground stations. Combining these all ideas together, we could sum up a new idea of forest, a smart forest that could be able to report. International important bodies about these areas is because these green areas have a kind of value, and so talking about our target, they have also a high value talking about biodiversity, and so it could be a way in order to start. But of course, we're not excluding to think about California, we're not excluding to think about Spain or Greece, that we well know they were burned up as other region of our country. Right now, what we are trying to do, now we are in a phase where we are trying to implement and build up the drone. So we're talking about a compact drone, electric, user-friendly, so with a long autonomy, and also, and most importantly, I will say, with a low cost of maintenance. So the main difference between using a drone, it's the fact that comparing to the cost of a Canadair, of another helicopter, another system that is now used by the firefighters, the cost really reduced, and to build up a fleet of them could be very easier and very cost effective. Now I'm talking very briefly about the market and the business model. We're talking about a market that is right now 100 billions, and only taking in consideration Italy, we are talking about 500 million of euro. And for what we know, we also, part of our team had the chance to move in the United States and already asked what the company and other companies that are going in this direction. And there is a global movement that is trying to find the solutions to what is the spreading of fire in forest, because it's a global problem. And talking about business model, as it could be very clear to each one of us, to move from our ideas to a next generation smart forest is not that easy. So we are taking consideration to move in different steps. So in a small run period, we are going to teach also people to use drones and to use helicopters. In our team, we have flight expert and flight instructor that already can do that. And also, these vehicles that are drones can be used also to solve some logistic and not only problems correlated with fire, but other logistic problem as taking resources and people to small borghi or city in that they're facing other problem like the disappearing of people and the reducing of population. Of course, this with the aim, with the mission to go to the catch enough revenue to build up the new forest fire detection system. We check up other competitor, and we found out that there is a company in the United States that they are trying to build up a kind of similar system, but of course they have a USA environment-oriented strategy. So their vehicles are made for field that are without mountains and other, and of course the maintenance cost is very elevated. Right now, talking about the roadmap, we are finishing to build up our team, and now we are working for the fundraising and the developing of the drone. Of course, what I'm saying is not just ideas that are up on us. I mean, we already have a prototype, and the prototype is already able to fly. So we are now in that phase that we are trying to figure out which are the possible partner in order to join us in this Venetian, Italian, and European way of build up smart forest that will be able to detect fire. Of course, in the future, and then 2025, the step will be to try it for the first time, maybe in a control area, in a control park. To conclude, just some phases of our team, and thank you for listening.
So it seems to me that you need a lot of infrastructure to make the system work. Like a forest, how many IoT systems do you have to plant? I mean, what is the area that is covered by one of those? Because if something happens out of this, just beyond the limit of that area, and the drone will not be activated, or am I wrong?
So first of all, thank you for the question, and I think you're clearly right. So let's be very practical. We're going step by step. So the first thing that we need to apply, it's a drone that will be able to be, that will fit to our landscapes environment. So that's the first step. The second step is gonna build up this IoT system, but the plan is gonna is to combine together our IoT with the ones that the European Union is already financing right now that are in this already controlled area. And according to the European Union, they already are studying how this the numbers that is correct in order to monitor an area in a more sustainable way. Of course, there are firefighters still with the truck moving around in the forest, but the thing is to get more faster and closer to the fire when it will be a danger for the environment. Of course, these studies are already on working, and they're already set up since 2020. So what we think is that when they're going to finish the study, so the next year we're going to be set up with our system to fit with this European IoT system that is already built up.